Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about British crochet versus American crochet and what the difference is. So this is British double crochet. It's very different from our single crochet. It took me a long while to work out the difference between British crochet and American crochet. My mum tried to teach me British crochet when I was younger. I just couldn't get on with it. And when I decided I wanted to learn crochet, I looked to YouTube. And this is where I found American crochet. And the tutorials were really good, and I started to learn, and the rest, they say, is history. But the problem is now is that when my mum and I want to make a project together, we get very, very confused. So I thought it would be fun to do a sort of semi-instructional video to show you exactly what the difference is between British crochet and American crochet. So my mum, who's doing a very good job of showing you British crochet here. This is the first one, so I'm going to show you British crochet, then I'm going to show you the American equivalent, and then I'm going to keep doing that all the way to the end of the video, and then right at the end of the video we're going to put a conversion chart up, and you're going to see my crochet against my mum's British crochet, because I'm the American side crochet. And it will be interesting for you to see that it looks completely different. Even I was quite shocked about how different the stitches were. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put instructional quotes onto this actual video, so you can actually see what my mum and myself were doing at that time. So you might be able to follow on with the tutorial here, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to be able to do British crochet, then this is just a quick version. And if you have interest in learning British crochet, then let me know in the comments below, and we'll maybe think about doing a British tutorial of each of the stitches to help you along the way. But this is just a quick tutorial to show you exactly the difference. So in a few short minutes we're going to switch to the American stitch, and that will be American single crochet. So those of you who know the crochet very well and use the American side, you'll recognize the American crochet almost instantly. But this is what the British version of single crochet is, and I was shocked to see just how big it was. So here you go. Here's my hand suddenly reappeared as the American single crochet. Again, I will put a short little instructional quote onto the front of the video to show you exactly what we're doing. I think my mum's lovely painted long and painted nails put mine to shame this week. It's quite interesting to see. I noticed towards the end of the video where I have British versus American, it's quite interesting to notice the difference in the tension between my mum's crochet and my crochet. Whereas I crochet quite tight, I noticed that mum's was a little bit more relaxed. I don't know whether that's because she's just got more experience with crochet than me, or it's just I tend to, coming from beading and macrame, I tend to tighten my work quite a bit, which does lead me into an awful lot of trouble some of the time. So here we go, we're just coming up probably to the end of this row now. There you go. And we'll show you all of them together at the end. So British half treble. So the British half treble is equivalent stitch to the half double in the US, although it's absolutely nothing like the half double in the US system. Oop. I think she was having a bit of a problem trying to keep her hands on the camera there. Takes a bit of getting used to. Tangled with wool as well. I'm glad that doesn't only happen to me. You quite often see in my videos I'll end up being tangled into wool. Okay, so in a few short seconds you're going to see that it's going to switch to half double, which is the US stitch. Now, I had a few people request this video, and when the suggestion was made I kind of said absolutely no way, because British crochet just confuses me. And then I thought about it and was like, I wonder if I could enlist my mum to help. So she's doing a really good job here. And I know her hand's in the way quite a bit of the time, but it's really hard to know where your hands need to be if you're not used to it. So that's her last stitch going in there, I think. There. There we go. So we're now going to be back to my hands for a half double. while watching Mum record this afternoon, it was so different to see the technique was completely different. It's not even close for the stitches. You know, they're supposedly the same thing, but there's absolutely no resemblance on either of them. Okay, the next one you're going to see is a treble. This is the British treble. as you can see, this stitch takes quite a while to do. It's not a quick stitch. There are quite a few processes before you end up doing the next stitch. So there you go, she's come to the end, and the equivalent stitch of this will be the American double crochet, which is just coming up. Quite a quick little stitch, this one. It's one I'm also very comfortable with, so when I was learning to crochet, American crochet just seemed to be the only sort of really decent tutorials out on YouTube. So it didn't really occur to me when I first started that there was two. So I learned to crochet using YouTube, and it wasn't until literally a few months back, as I said, that Mum and I were trying to do a project together that I was like, okay, why can't you get this? Why does yours not look like mine? So there we go. Now, next on the list will be a double treble, which is equivalent to the American treble. I guess it's kind of confusing that I prefer American crochet since I'm from Britain, but a double treble seemed to be very fiddly. You had to like wrap your yarn a couple of times before, and then it was like yarn over and pulling through like 3 times before you got back to your one loop on the hook. It seemed to be very, very complicated and very slow. We took a couple of takes of this one because at one point we ended up sort of knotted and all sorts. There just seemed to be too much yarn on the crochet hook. Oops, another knot there. There we go. That's the end of a double treble, a British double treble. And we're going into an American treble now. I don't actually like this stitch. I always find out again that there are far too many loops on the hook, and I end up in all sorts. I want to pull through all of them and not just two. So when I end up with a sort of 3 on the hook, I want to pull through all of them. It's just not quite right for me. It kind of makes me also realise when I'm watching back like this, because I don't often do a narration over the top of a video. I always do mine as I'm crocheting. So it's kind of strange to see my own hands going like this. I realise just how quick I crochet. I obviously only wanted to do 1 row of that treble. So the next we're going on is a triple treble. And the equivalent is a double treble in America. I don't think I've ever done one of those. I actually had to go look it up to find out what a double treble was. This one you had to wrap the yarn around about 4 times around your hook before you started your stitch. There we go. She ended up with a knot. So there we go. There's like the 4 wraps before you have to go and yarn over to get rid of them all. It sort of, rather than making a stitch, it kind of twists the yarn. It was really quite a pretty pattern. But I certainly wouldn't want to do more than a couple of them. A few minutes after the American version of the double treble, you're going to see them all laid out. And in the top right hand corner you'll see a table, and that's the table of UK stitches against American stitches. So if you've ever got an American crochet project, or you've got vice versa, you've got a British crochet project, and you need to work out which stitches you need to do, then that table will really help you. Here we go, into the last one of the American double treble. And you can, from what I was saying before, you can convert British and American patterns completely easily by using that table. There are so many out there. I'll try and see if I can add the table to the bottom of my video for you guys to download. But you can Google British versus American crochets into images and get a table like that to help you. I don't think it's anything I'm going to need anytime soon, because I'm going to stick with my American crochet. It's so much easier. I guess it's what you used to, and you know what you've been taught, and whether you've been taught from an early age. And it's like a few months back I tried to get Mum to convert to American crochet, and she got all confused and ended up going back to British and then having to convert it because she just it didn't come naturally to her because she'd been so used to the British side, which is absolutely fine. It doesn't matter which way you do it as long as you get the result for the project you want, I guess. So there we go. So I've come to the end of that, and this is the table I was talking about. As you can see, double crochet to single crochet, half treble to half double crochet, treble to double crochet, double treble to treble, triple treble to double treble. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.